That armor looks rusty, but your courage seems upright. The axe is now broken, but your will burns bright. So muster your courage and hold that shield high. The days grow darker, so shall the Nephilim rise. Hello everyone, I'm the Holy Hermit and I'm about to present to you a list of top 10 almost awesome legendaries in Diablo 3. These legendaries look amazing on paper but pales in comparisons to others' might when used in battle. The criteria of the list is as follows. All the legendaries must be found in Inferno, meaning that they are somewhat competitive with great items. And they must almost be useful to a point where if they had minor tweaks to their stats, they could prove to be one of the best in-slot items. Just like the hand of a skilled blacksmith can miss the iron once a while, these legendaries lack a small amount of attention. So without further ado, here we begin. Monks are great with a unique ability to heal themselves when they expend their spirit. This fact is evident when looking at skills such as Transcendence that make Monk into an immortal demon-slaying spirit when used appropriately. So here comes a Spirit Stone that rolls stats such as Dexterity, Vitality, Attack Speed, Life Percent and Life per Spirit Spend with one random stat. If you're lucky, you may get a roll of crit chance on it, but currently, to no avail. With more competitive items such as Mempo, Andariel's and Irradiance, only one single random roll isn't enough. But what if it had the ability to roll main stats a tad bit higher and had 2 random rolls instead of 1? Can you imagine what this helm could do with a 6% crit chance and a socket, or a 6 crit chance with all res? This would make this helm into a great EHP and DPS item exclusive to monks alone. Ever seen what a firepower monk does with Transcendence? Add this item to the build and chain kills get a whole new meaning. But right now, it sits at number 10. Next up, a shoulder that does active damage like a skill. Forget it, not possible, right? Well, not exactly. Legendary shoulders called Deathwatch Mantle do exactly the same and more, with guaranteed armor, life regen and life percentage. The Deem Seal's pretty decent, but when we see it holds very low main stats as random rolls, our dreams of using this items are shattered. It can just hold 2 random rolls, but what if these very rolls could go higher on stat points? We get a shoulder with, let's just say, 250 strength and 150 vite. With all the good benefits it offers, we get a wizard or a witch doctor that can deal additional damage when struck by enemies. And what if the fan of Nye's skill here relates to thorns? One can dream, right? But such as it is, it adorns number 9 of our list. So what's next then? Those good old Diablo 2 gloves. The first time they dropped for you, I am sure you were stoked to ID them. After all, they were magnificent a decade ago. But along comes Frostburn Gauntlets of Diablo 3. Amazing stats for sure, increased cold damage, extra damage to cold skill, pickup radius and health globe bonus all in combination seems brilliant. But wait, what happened to the main stats? With D3 focusing its itemization on offensive skills such as attack speed, crit chance, crit damage, these gloves lose their frozen charm as it cannot roll any random property at all. So what if it just had 2 random rolls, and one being extra int as main stat? You can get attack speed, critical hit damage, critical hit chance or even all res to take your wizard to a whole new level. Imagine, if you will, a fire and ice wizard using this item. The sheer brilliance of the build and the pure awesomeness of this item can take your monster slaying experience to a whole new level. But alas, here it now sits at number 8. So next in our list is a family of heavy hitters that fail to leave a long-lasting imprint. Schaefer's Hammer, Maximus, Vigilance and Tormentor. All these extra special 2-handers hold special skills within themselves. Some can cast lightning armor, others can summon demons. One can protect you and your allies, and the last can spread your irresistible charm. All 4 of these items really do touch on the core experience of Diablo. They are weapons that can take your build to a whole new level. Apart from the fact that they look awesome and add an extra skill to your arsenal, they fall short when dealing damage on high MPs. All these items are so amazing and nearly epic that all we need to give them is higher base damage. If Scorn can go up to 1400 plus DPS, so why shouldn't they? If 2-handers like these get a major buff to their weapon damage, imagine the possibilities it will open. Witch Doctors will use Maximus for Cloud of Bats. Monks will use Schaefer Hammer for Tempest Rushing. Wizards can keep foes at a distance using Vigilance, and Barbs can finally charm some monsters rather than scaring them away. Wouldn't that be a sight? But hey, let's just get back to reality by putting these 2-handers at number 7 on our list. Next up is a shield, surprisingly. Shields are currently not a big part of Diablo 3 as everything is focused on sheet damage, but there is a nice community of PvP where shields are still being used. And speaking of shield, the only one worth using right now is a Storm Shield, only meant for barbs. But what about other characters? Well, there is a shield that can roll stats for every character, but you wouldn't like its name when I say it out loud. It's the Ivory Shield, I'm afraid. With all res, life percent, damage reduction and life regen, it does seem like a good choice on paper, but it pales in comparison to its counterpart. But what if it could roll an additional unique skill on it? It might make things more interesting. What if the shield had the ability to cast Breath of Heaven and could heal you for 1 to 1.5% of your life every 30 seconds? We will get a shield that's not only good for PvP, but also a viable choice for our friendly tank, Mr. Templar. But as of now, the shield hangs at number 6 on our pedestal. Next up is another unique item. They say Valor multiplies in numbers. This is what the angelic host of Diablo 3 believes in after all. Their vigor of dispatching evil is marked in one of the weapons of their choice, Skycutter. It is understandable that some weapons are meant for dealing damage whilst others are renowned for their uniqueness in Diablo 3. So when the description reads, chance to summon angelic assistance on attacking, I personally couldn't wait to try out this weapon. Once I found the item and rolled the stats, DPS and other stats didn't impress me, but as I said, some weapons are a bit more than just sheet DPS. But this weapon truly does lose its valor when in the hands of a Nephilim warrior. The assistant summoned with a weapon holds very small life, comically small to a point where even the weakest of the monsters can destroy the assistant in a mere single hit. But what if the angelic assistant had a high HP pool? This would work like a mystic ally and aid the Nephilim by taking the stress on itself. But such as this weapon is, all it is good for now is to sit at number 5 of our list. Next up is a memorable journey. The road goes ever on and on. But wait, this road crosses too many dead marshes for this items, or should I say set of items. These items have a potential of being so great but fall short like others. The endless path comprising of Traveler's Pledge and a Compass Rose. Upon a simple glance, it's easy to state that the set bonus is very much useless in the current state of Diablo 3. But please do bear with me. An amulet that can roll high magic find, a ring that can roll movement speed, stats on both of them that encourage a long journey. A person wearing this set now is blessed with high life and can tread through anything by granting the user strength against control impairing effects. It even grants you 4 random rolls, but in total it's still of no use. Even your followers shy away from this, right? So what if stats such as movement speed and control impairing effects transition your character the same way magic find and bonus XP do? What if a 15% critical hit chance reduction on your follower meant 3 to 4 reduction for you? But wait, there is more. Rather than having a set bonus of 50% crit damage, how about giving it a bonus XP find? Not a lot, maybe 10 to 15% that transition into 3 to 4% for you. After all, the set is all about traveling, and what kind of traveler does not benefit from its travels? I know the kind that sits at number 4 of our list. Almost there now, but please remember, this is my humble list, so the winner will be an item that is universally applicable to all classes. So let's continue the journey, shall we? What you see is what you get. That's true almost all the times in Diablo 3. But our number 3 of Almost Awesome Legendary is so epic and unique, it makes an experienced wizard wonder about its entire gear set and build. Are you ready for this? So in comes Fragment of Destiny, and let's just wait for one moment and adore the stat it can offer. With intelligence and attack speed as a default role, this legendary also grants you cold, lightning and fire skill dealing up to 25% more damage. But hey, that's still not enough. For this pocket powerhouse of a weapon, it also rolls up to 30% bonus damage to Spectral Blade. And of course, I will say this again, all these skills are always guaranteed on this item. So if you're a Frost Nova Critical Mass Wizard, Mirrored Storm Wizard, or a Fire and Ice Wizard, this weapon for you certainly is a match made in heaven. So what's the flaw in there then? Just a tiny one, in form of weapon damage. Even with all its awesomeness, this weapon is still not viable to use because of a mere 974 of max weapon damage. If possible, this damage should be elevated to 1300 and this one will outshine and outfreeze everything else in the game. Right now, its destiny is sealed at number 3 of our list. Justice and might go hand in hand. Such was the resolve of Archangel Tyrael, and his garb conveys this message to the lives of Sanctuary. Tyrael's Might, a legendary chest armor that can roll high main stats, all res, up to 3 sockets, bonus damage and movement speed. But such a rare piece of loot struggles to hold its worth when compared to other set items. When you can get attack speed from one chest or life percent on other, right now it's hard to choose this one irrespective of its sheer brilliance. But what if it could receive one minor tweak? What if it could roll a guaranteed roll of vitality similar to its main stat? Even though this will make it equivalent to other great chest armors, its unique property of providing the user movement speed can free the player from sticking to boots, pants and bracer combo. Each armor is special, but this one lacks a small edge, making it sit at number 2 of our list. So close to being perfect, right? And now we move on to number 1 of our list. Fire is used to forge iron into perfection, but every now and then, a misplaced strike from the smith's hammer can lead to all sorts of flaws. Burning Axe of Sankis is one such example of flawed masterpiece. If you are a fan of Wun Kim Lao for monks, you're going to love this item. Whether you're a monk, witch doctor or a wizard, a simple gaze at this weapon will leave you dazzled with its sheer awesomeness. With fire skills dealing more damage, bonus to fire skills, life on hit, fire res, a random roll and a special bonus, this weapon shines in every aspect apart from its DPS. If only its weapon damage was taken to somewhere up to 1200 to 1300, and if the life on hit could roll up to 900, this will probably be the most sought after weapon in the game. With builds such as Cloud of Bats for Witch Doctor, Fire and Ice for Wizard and Evasion or Fire Palm for Monks, this weapon can reinforce the heart of many warriors of Sanctuary, all by emulating their warm hearts. Such is this weapon with the sheer awesomeness and weight. Did I mention you get an Ignore Pain skill with it, for free? What more can you ask from number 1 of our almost awesome legendary? So this is our list, items that hold so much promise of being awesome. Please leave a comment sharing your thoughts. Subscribe if you haven't already. Other than that, do take care of yourself and remember to walk a mile before you run for 30. If things tend to become too easy, they become boring very soon.